Uy, bakit naman hindi? Ako nga, interesado.
All the young people I meet in our country really
Grabe pala, parang taga-etibak pala.
Cheers. I'm a dog lover as well as a...
Hurting the genuity of those dogs.
Hello mga kabiyaya. We are here with Doc Banz, who is a cat daddy and who we met in a cafe, what's it called?
Hard Rock.
Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, Hard Rock.
Yeah. Halatang hindi lumalabas. He really made me think about veterinarians having preferences or having their hearts tugged in one direction or another. So here we are. Hi, Doc Banz.
Hello po. Good morning po, Ma'am Rian. Thank you for having me po.
What I loved about your presentation was, did you say something about your cat, the asshole or something
Yes,
like that?
I refer to him as such. For some reason po, pag tuxedo yung cat, pilyo sila talaga.
Really?
I've noticed lang na parang if it's a certain color pattern, may certain
Yes,
behavior
that's true.
sila.
Yeah, like my meatball.
So
yeah.
the orange tabbies tend to be parang suplado in a way. Tapos yung mga tilapia, yung malambing talaga.
Yeah.
And yun nga, the tuxedos, pilyo, they love doing stuff that make you go crazy.
Yeah, just like the calicos.
Yeah. So the calicos are super lambing.
Yeah, but they're
sila.
naughty. But the naughtiest ones, I think, are the torties.
Yeah, the torties, definitely. I have parang may stray tortie na gumagala sa area namin. And siya yung talaga. Parang infamous.
Yeah, I have one. I call her my bitchiest cat.
Yeah.
Because she's Philomena. Philo. I call her Philo. And she hates everybody. Everybody, humans, dogs, other cats. But she loves me. So I kind of feel special because of her.
Yeah.
What started you on the journey to become a vet?
Ayun. So, actually, my journey was towards human medicine before. So, I finished BS Bio. I majored in genetics sa UPLB. And the thought was...
That's pretty heavy.
Yes. Medyo. So I love science stuff, science things. So, parang, since I can't really look up to the stars with telescope, I look down through a microscope na lang. Parang ganun yung nangyari. So anyway, pre-med siya supposedly. Tapos, one thing that triggered was the shift to vet med was a visit to a zoo. Tapos parang nakakita ako someone tranquilizing a tiger tapos doing a procedure with a tiger. So parang sabi ko, parang mas gusto ko to over human medicine. So when I came back from that trip, so parang nag-decide ako na after working in government for a year, nag-decide ako mag-aral na lang ng vet med.
Oh, government. What did you work?
I used to work in soils and water management. Kasi pagka-graduate ko ng biology, parang yun yung basically sa lab. So I cultured fungus, bacteria all day. Parang ganun.
So you seem to be like a cat, a loner as well.
Yes! Ayun, touching on that na lang din, I was never a cat person before. So I grew up in a household with purely dogs who only cared for dogs. So we always had 2 dogs, tapos pag nagpapasoon yung isa, papalitan lang ulit ng isa. So always 2 lang yung dogs. Then yung cat, my love for cat started when I was in vet school.
Huh.
So doon ko na-realize na, cat person pala ako.
Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Quezon City. Quezon City.
Okay. Lots of cats
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So you went all the way to UP Los Baños.
Yes.
Okay.
But I did not take my vet med degree there. Sa De La Salle Araneta na ako nag-vet med.
Mas malapit sa
Yeah,
bahay.
mas malapit.
Okay. All right. So you worked in government. You're a lab person.
Yes.
Genetics is totally lab. And then from there, how did it progress?
So after that vet med na, tapos when I finished vet school, got my license, I practiced in small animal, which is cats and dogs. So I did that for 5 years. Then I did some teaching time. So I did teach for 2 years in De La Salle. So parang just to pay back. Then nag-pandemic. Tapos during the pandemic, someone referred me to the cat clinic. Tapos doon na nag-start yung parang role ko as a parang director or a leader of a medical team. Tapos yun, at na-enhance talaga yung hilig ko sa pusa when I was in the cat clinic. So yun po. Tapos right now, I left that job na and right now I am in Zoetis, an animal health company.
Bumalik ka pa rin in that kind of field.
Yes.
It's difficult to handle humans.
Medyo, yeah. Totoo. Parang I went into vet med thinking na parang, I'll talk to animals lang. Pero yun, pagdating sa practice, tao pa rin kausap. So,
Yeah, minsan mahirap
No choice.
talaga. Oo, especially now with Google, no?
Yeah.
A lot of people, and it's common between human and the veterinary medicine. A lot of the doctors get a little frustrated because parang Google says this.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
did you experience that or no? Because sometimes
I did.
we experience that
I did, but yun nga, with experience and being a kind of techie person myself, parang I found a way around it. So I taught my staff before kasi yun nga, parang teaching is kind of my passion in life. So when I became hospital director, tinuruan ko talaga yung staff ko how to handle or how to move about yung ganong klaseng kliyente. So I always tell them na use Google to your advantage as well. So it's our responsibility as vets to filter information. So if we search common diseases lang sa Google, usually you will get 10 articles. Take the time to read all those 10 articles. Tapos choose the one you want to share to your client. Kasi most likely, kung ano yung nabasa mo sa first page, yun lang din naman yung basa
nabasa
ng client.
nila. Tama.
So it's the vet's responsibility noon to say na, ay, may nabasa ko kay Google. Sabihin natin ng vet, nabasa ko rin siya. But this is out of that list, ito yung tama.
See? You're smart really, ha?
My staff did that a lot. So yung staff ko, they're prepared to handle Dr. Google.
Dr. Google.
So, yeah. So, we have ways to go about. So, lagi kong sinasabi, it's a double-edged sword. It can be your friend, it can be your enemy, but choose the friend.
Yeah, oo. That's very intelligent of you. Well, I always kind of figured out you're intelligent.
Ayan.
Sorry to make you feel awkward, but yeah. No, it's a, how can I say, veterinary care or human care always deals with a lot of emotion, a lot of sensitivity, and sometimes people are afraid. Humans are afraid. Either way, I have a friend since the other night who's like, should I bring the dog to Biaya or not? Because, it's a young dog and he had rashes. And I was like, looks like Ehrlichia, no? How can it be? It's a house dog. It's the only dog, blah, blah, blah. It's only 3 years old. Got it from a breeder. True enough, it had her Ehrlichia, right? And she was like, I said, did it ever have ticks? Yes, naman. I said, well, there you go, right? Because ticks are like viruses.
Yeah.
There are no barriers. There are no fences,
Yeah.
right? So, so she was calling me because she's like, oh, he's matamlay today. I said, it's also the antibiotic. So, because it's like an only child,
Yeah.
it iba na yung...
Yeah, especially, kahit vets, gano'n naman po. We kind of turn up the emotion if it's our own pet. So, minsan na... I think other vets could attest to this na pag sarili naming pet, nawawala yung pagiging vet namin. Yeah. That happens a lot. So, usually, may mga friends akong vet na parang magtatanong pa sa akin. Parang, how do I go about this case? Parang, technically, alam mo na siya. It's just, I understand na, yun nga, na high yung emotion mo and you can't think clearly. So, lalapit ka sa ibang vet for
Parang you doubt yourself.
Yeah, kasi syempre, it's your own pet eh. So,
Yeah.
dapat 120% yung alam mo for your
Yeah.
own pet. So, parang ganun yung nangyayari. So, I do understand that emotions can run high pag ganyan. Kasi most people nowadays treat their pet as family member.
Yeah.
So, yun nga. I did one lecture recently on the human-animal bond. So, pinopromote namin yun siya kasi the former head of the medical staff ni Zoetis is the co-founder of the Human-Animal Bond Research Institute.
Oh, wow.
So, si Doc Mike. So, parang yun nga. So, I did this lecture on the human-animal bond na yun nga. A survey worldwide tells us that around 86% of people now say that their pet is a family member.
You know, and it's so funny. That's why it's good to look at things holistically. So in the financial asset management, a lot is being invested in veterinary care because people are having less children
Yeah.
and more pets, especially in first world countries.
Yeah. Pets are the new plants are the new pets and pets are the new children. Parang ganun yun.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So that's why I was like, oh, do we invest in veterinary pharmaceuticals, right? Zoetis is a favorite. It depends on what products. Zoetis is a favorite Virbac for certain things, and Vetoquinol.
Bitoquinol.
Yeah, that's my ultimate favorite for certain things.
Yeah.
Their lysine, their
Yeah. They have a lot of in-clinic meds. Yeah.
in-clinic meds, the calming pills really work. You know, stuff like that. So, medyo geek ako doon. And particularly like our pets use your simparica, right? Things like that. There's certain things that because we have so many,
Yeah, there's
we can really figure out what to and if it works or not, or if it doesn't work, why. So you have one cat,
I have only one. Yes po.
and then you have this renegade tortie that comes.
Medyo marami sila kasi yung kapitbahay namin yung nagpapakain sa kanila. So, with cats kasi they have this area that they circle around. Tapos may time, may
Yeah.
time pa yan sila. Kasi they know na at this time, there's a resource point here. So, gagala ako towards that during that time. So, yung tortie nagvi-visit around mga 11 to 12 a.m. Yan siya ng gabi. So, siya yung maingay. Siya yung nagkakalkal ng trash sa labas. So, medyo pilyo nga siya. So, yun. So, there are other cats, but usually the other cats come during the day kasi nagpapakain nga yung neighbor namin.
And you have a family, and how is that?
Yes. I have one daughter at the moment. So, she just turned 4.
Uy, bata pa.
Yeah, bata pa. She loves our cat. Our cat's name kasi is Pipoy.
Pipoy, okay.
Then, I kind of picked this up from one client na since most people treat pets nga as family members. So, yung tawag nung family nila dun sa pet nila was Kuya. So, na-adapt yun nung cat ko. He calls our cat Kuya. Ng daughter ko. So, my cat kasi is 7 years old. Mag-8 na. So, she calls our cat Kuya Pipoy.
Sweet. I have naman Manong Lino. And your wife?
My wife is also a vet.
Okay.
She used to work in government, but currently she's not employed kasi nag-ano sa bahay, taking care of that.
Small animal or large?
Small animal din po. But government kasi siya before. So she used to do a lot of the spay and neuter, rabies coordinator siya before sa government.
Yeah.
Assigned to Mimaropa.
Okay. Yeah. Doc JM.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we're doing the same. And we're also, so we have a 5-point program. So for stray-free, rabies-free Philippines, 2035. So we have mass spay and neuter,
Yeah.
mass vaccination, awareness, then we have education.
Easy.
Yeah, and then we have lastly surveillance. So we try to help with the surveillance. Mexico kasi has already supposedly beaten rabies. They've been declared rabies free.
Wow.
Mexico is 3 or 4 times our size, and I think more than double our population. And they were able to do it with all their problems. So it's just political will, I suppose. So very happy with the partnership with Zoetis to try to figure something out, especially with your defensor. And it's community work, partnerships, and something on the table for everyone, kind of thing. So what do you currently do in Zoetis at the moment?
At the moment, my position is called Veterinary Technical Services Manager. So basically, the job is to go around and do product presentations and lectures on our products. So the technical side of it. So most of the time, my audience are vets who want to know more about how to use our products, how to efficiently use them, etc. Then part of the job is also getting reports from our customers on adverse effects or whatever it is na hindi sila happy about the products. Then on the side, I was allowed to do yun nga, since cats are my passion, I was allowed to do cat lectures to help clinics. Kasi one of my passions in life is just to spread the word of how to manage cats better in clinic. So I got a go-ahead from my boss na, sige, you do the cat lectures kasi that can help the clinics din naman. So because of this, a few clinics have now parang separated their facilities. Meron na silang specific na cat-only wards. Yung ibang clinic, separate na yung entrance ng cat and dog. Hiwalay yung waiting room. So, small steps like these for me, parang...
Yeah, we're trying to manage. It's not the easiest. So last time you came to the sanctuary, in the isolation area, we moved all the cats na lang there, and they're free roaming now. So they're much, much better. But there's really a cat crisis.
Yes,
And I think it's really important. Had I known, I could have done it sooner. But, you really need to separate the cats from the dogs.
Yes.
And if you can, be intelligent about it, decide only cats or only dogs. If you're limited in your resources. And also, it's what tugs at your heart. Some people are really just cat people.
Yes.
Some people are just dog people. And then there's, the rest of us who are just in between cat and dog.
Both,
Yeah, because the energies are so different. And, you tend to associate with certain characteristics.
So yun, yun nga, nalaman ko yung na cat person ako, yung behavior ko. Medyo distant ako from people. Gusto ko I find peace pag mag-isa lang ako. So, I later found out na this is a cat behavior pala.
Ako din. Ganon din ako.
For me, optional yung barkada na I can survive on my own. Kasi cats tend to be that way. Being in a social group for them is entirely optional. Or kind of transactional. You're only... The cat visits you if it's a stray. It will only visit you simply because you put food out.
Tama.
So, ganun lang
diba?
naman sila. Very transactional. So, for the cat owners out there, you have to understand na if you have a cat, your only purpose there is parang transactional lang talaga. They're just staying because you provide them food.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because it's something we talk about a lot in animal welfare. And hoping to address this idea that you just feed So you need to fix. But at the same time, don't make them tame if you decide to just leave them.
Yeah.
Meaning they're just outdoor cats, because that's when they can get into trouble.
Yeah.
When people get close enough to throw them water or, hot water or stuff like that and do them harm. There are some really kind people though, but it's also when they're used to people. I think it's 2 months. If they've had contact at 2 months of age,
Yeah.
they tend to be okay with
Yeah.
people. When after 2 months, it's a little more difficult.
So there's this window na parang 4 to 11 weeks old. So their engagement with humans during that window determine kung they're okay with humans long term. So parang formative years ng bata.
It's really funny
Parang-
because so Philo, what happened with Philo? Oh my gulay. So I was trying to catch a cat in a parking, right? And ang ilap niya. So finally, we get to trap her. She was pregnant, so finally, we get to trap her. Malaki pa yung tiyan. So have her spayed, and then nung pala, she had already given birth because malaki yung uterus. Malaki pa. So I was like freaking out. So this is a 3-level parking lot. I searched everywhere. The PMO, thank God, is a cat guy, cat dude. And he was like helping me. And then, so I said, okay. Then we reviewed the CCTV camera. And, she always goes to the generator. We went to the generator, and there we got the 6 kittens inside in the suluk-suluk. I think I went in and I was like full of soot and whatever. So I was able to get the kitten.
Warm kasi inside.
Oo. And Philo is one of those. And let me tell you, she's still the bitchiest cat ever. So, and the mother was the same, right? So after the kids grew up, we couldn't handle her. So we just brought her na lang to the sanctuary. And she's there now. But I have an attachment for tortoise and calicos. I have all. A couple of black ones too, but particularly tortoise. And I always tell her, you're a fake tortie, because she was like black. And then I just noticed like one orange thing here, right? And then as she grew, the orange started to come up. So, fake black cat ka, So, so, all these things that happen in life. And that time, we didn't have a biaya. I was spending a fortune on TNVR with VIP. Because Doc Nielsen and Doc J are my good friends. Although they gave me a special rate. And Doc J calls me at like 5 o'clock. Rina, it's like, she just gave birth. What? I was like, holy kamote! So it was like frantic. Then at around 9 o'clock, I text him, I found the kittens, I found the kittens. He's like, I can't believe you. He was like, buang, a little bit buang, but he's a cat. He's a cat dude as well.
Yeah.
So
Doc J is very silent.
very silent, but I love him.
Yeah.
So
good.
yeah,
Siya.
yeah, and Nielsen used to do house calls. When he came back from Singapore was when he used to come to the house, and he has all my my tortoises and my snakes. I gave them to him because then I decided to concentrate on companion, no? Yeah, so yeah, no, it's a funny thing. So you feel like because you're able to still talk to cats, to cat clinics, give your lectures, you're fulfilled.
Yes, very much. But I extend the cat education to anyone who wants it. So, I've done some, hindi pa naman siya legit na consultancy work, but I've worked with some clinics who ask for my feedback on how to construct, how to manage cats better in clinic. Tapos, this coming April, shameless plug lang, I'll be in Bacolod naman to do a cat lecture for pet owners as well.
That's really great.
So, kasi to handle the stress ng isang cat shouldn't be only at the clinic level. Should start from home.
Actually,
from home to clinic, then back.
Yeah, that's true. In my little, I took some animal welfare courses, and that's it. That's why the carriers are always outside, so they know. Sometimes I keep them in there, just leave them, then open the door, and stuff like that. And cats are really different, especially the street cats. Their diseases are all stacked and latent. Often, nagtatago lang. And then when the stress pops up,
Tsaka siya lalabas. Yeah.
And it's something like, we also work with some community cat groups, and they ask us what we do, and we hold on to the cats until they're completely vaccinated and spayed and neutered. But for them, they want to give the kittens to the potential adopter. And I said we stopped doing that because sometimes the stress comes out, and then the diseases come, and it's so disappointing for the adopter, right? So fully vaxxed, spayed and neutered, and then it's a much longer process. But you have to pick and choose your battles, right? Because we've had 2 or 3 adoptions where finally ready, but they weren't vaccinated, and then you can't do all the things at one time, and it becomes problematic. And then normally they have a lot of like worms, parasites.
With cats kasi they are, especially the street cats, they roam a lot, so you really can't control what diseases or what vectors they get from out there. Tapos when it comes to parasites, they self-groom din kasi. So with worms, the tapeworm comes from eating a flea. So I feel when they do this kasi dun siya naging
We got that a worm is something.
Yeah, that's a tapeworm. Yeah.
This long, that thick. I posted it, and Doc Jordan says he's waiting because like there's probably still a little bit more stuck inside because it was halved, and that was from a cat in Salcedo village. And funny enough, so I went to the Spanish embassy. On my way out, I saw the cat in the parking area. So I took the cat, had it fixed, and then the tapeworm come out. And then nung pala there are feeders there. This was early on, and then they got so frantic that the cat went missing. But I had posted about it, and then so they contacted me, and then somebody decided to adopt it na kasi parang they all of a sudden didn't realize how they would feel if cat went missing.
Ano na siya? Community personality na siya.
Oo. So yun. So it was really, really nice, that story. But some stories aren't nice either because they're considered as varmint, as rodents in some cases.
I don't know. For me, okay lang naman to have cats roaming around. Basta dapat na space sila so they don't propagate further. Tapos syempre vaccinated para at least hindi din sila nagkakalat ng sakit. So I feel the program when you release them back na vaccinated muna sila, spayed muna sila, I think that's a great idea. Then yun, marami pa rin. I think the Philippines is a dog country. We're more into dogs than cats.
Well, the data we can collect is mostly dogs. There's no data for
cats.
cats. Yeah, there's none. what was it, Han? 24 million, 25 million strays by 2029? Yeah, that was the data we got. But it's dogs.
Yeah, mostly dogs.
Yeah, so not
Di
even.
nabibilang cats. Even the number of cats per household, even government walang data. As far as I know, kasi the computation for animal or dog population is based off of
Correct.
human population.
Yeah.
Walang ganong version for cats.
No, wala nga. Ang daming kulang because we were even trying to figure out the rabies, the all. Kulang no kulang Like when we were studying to pass the bill, and then we were looking for funding from on a national level. There are certain places that the rabies clinic to check, is like 9 hours away. Who's going to bring the head of a dog or a cat and spend the gasoline or the petrol for 9 hours? No, nobody's going to do that. So the information is really kulang. It's just, and that's why when I always talk to, especially the cat communities, they're very passionate, right? And I always say, don't try not to run on your emotion. Get your data, your facts, get your thing, and that's how you need to argue. Because if not, or discuss. Because if not, at the end of the day, just tell them how much money they will save. Find all that information, because most people don't care.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they don't even have food on their table sometimes. Why would they care about a cat and the dog? Very different from the mangangalakals who love the animals and find companionship in them and also protection. I remember I had posted Jason is a person who walks around here, and he has Brownie, his dog, and when I posted about it, we spayed and neutered and thing. Some people were upset that we didn't take in the dog, and I was like, well, we can't. That's his companion. That's his, and it's not about this righteousness. It's about the bond, the human connection. One time I couldn't sleep, so I went around UST, España. I went all the way up to Fairview, and late at night, 2, 3 a.m., and you'd see, like I saw a dog. I was going to get the dog, and then the dog started to bark because he's the alaga pala of the jeepney driver. So during the daytime, he's driving around. The dog is just roaming. So he's owned, quote unquote. Or I have a photo of a man sleeping on top of his tricycle and his dog beside him. So nothing is cookie cutter.
So yeah, most talaga are dogs. More on the dogs because yun nga, it's tied to the behavior ng pusa. Na if they don't see you regularly putting out the resources that they require, they'll just go and find another place na constant or continuous yung supply.
Actually, since you were doing genetics, that's what I was also thinking about. I did a lot of history, and so there are certain dog breeds that are disappearing because they're no longer needed. The wolfhounds, certain terriers, water dogs, and they were bred for purpose.
Yes.
And I think that is deeply ingrained in our DNA somehow. So when you do 23andMe and you see where you came from and all the DNA that you could have picked up along the way, I really believe in imprints. So they say 14, 15 generations for an imprint to completely, So I think that's why also the dog, because man progressed because of the dog. who is the farmer, the herder, the protector, the companion, the fisherman, etc., etc., right? Tagapulot ng duck nung nabaril mo or whatever, right? So, I think the connection is very close. And then I did the research for cats, and it's really, like in Egypt, they were really worshipped. And they traveled on the boats to keep the boats
Free from rats. Yeah.
free from rats. And the Black Plague happened because there was a big annihilation
Of
of
cats.
cats
Yeah.
a few years prior. And so the rats were all over the place. And then thus producing this idea of the vacuum effect. And cats are mostly associated to women, apparently, because they were in the home
Yeah.
most of the time. So maybe to your point, where the food was, in a way. So, Aphrodite and all this, not Tutankhamen, what's her name? Nefertiti and all of that. So it's very interesting how they kind of companion fill in certain gaps. And cats were never, except the new ones, the what do you call that? The hairless ones, Sphinx and all of that. That's bred for looks, but cats were not really bred for
Certain jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah.
whereas dogs were, because cats are not trainable. So sa ganun lang, you can look and say, oops,
Palamuti. Parang
What's
ganun.
that?
It's like the centerpiece of a house.
yeah,
And for show, mostly it's for show.
yeah.
So they're some paano ba, may cats pa or bred for parang wala eh. It's just
Wala, I can't-
natural
I'm
for them to
looking.
hunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just natural for them to hunt. So some cats wala. There are no cats who are bred for job specific traits.
Purpose, no? Wala talaga
so
eh.
if you compare to huskies who are meant to mush.
Yeah, yun.
Wala.
Wala talaga eh. So that's why I find it so amazing,
Yeah, it's
no? Na meron silang characteristic. Just like breeds meron din. Just like like you're saying, the color pattern. I also noticed that quite a lot. Like my Rustico, Rusty, who's a ginger, who I say he has ADHD, right? He's a tripod, and he's in his own kind of world. But the female gingers are so malambing.
Yeah.
So even with gender,
Merong difference.
meron mga differences, right? So I just love it because iba sila. And then when they get sick, I have Guada from Guadalupe. Guada, and she has everything. She had parvo. Then, Doc Jay said, okay, she can go home. And then she was fine, and then she collapsed, and I was doing CPR on her, running to VIP. She eventually survived, but she's cross-eyed. She's has neurological. She has FIV, F5. She has everything, almost everything. But she's 9 years old. She walks as if she's drunk, But she's so smart. She's a calico. She's so smart and super cariñosa.
Cats, pasensya na sa dog owners, pero for me, cats talaga are smarter because they problem solve like 24/7.
Tama.
Even for the cats inside the home, since they even feel threatened kahit ikaw yung owner nila. So yeah, so they scan the environment constantly. And one behavior I tie into this is the reason why cats love to perch. They love sleeping on higher places. Kasi kita nila yung buong environment nila. Alam nila kung sino yung threat. Alam nila kung kailan nalapit yung threat. So they have parang lead time to run away. So even my own cat is like this. Pag ako yung lumalapit sa kanya, he runs away. So inaantay ko lang siya na siya yung mag-initiate ng contact before I can actually pet him.
Yeah.
So, ganun yung Pag ayaw niya, tatakbo siya. And he always stays in that corner of our apartment na yung in between ng stairs and the second floor.
Yeah.
That small corner there, nandun siya most of the time kasi kita niya yung buong bahay.
You know, when I went to Africa and interacted with cheetahs, they're malambing, They're malambing. And then we had chanced upon a leopard. Leopard ba yan? Yung may spots.
Yeah.
And his prey, dead prey, which was an antelope or something, was on top of a tree.
Sinisave nila from other...
Oo, ganun, right? And then the cheetah, for example, talking about intelligence, they will I don't know if it's they'll eat certain parts and last yung stomach kasi mabaho yung stomach, and other people can smell it and come then. Yeah. And then when we were in the grasslands, how they developed na the tail of the cheetah has like a black and white. So when it's running, the kittens are
nowhere the
where kasi nakikita yung parang guide ng tour, no?
GPS.
Oh, 'di ba? Ang ganda, parang I'm always so amazed at that. Or when we saw a pride, when we saw the pride, the females go out to hunt and there's like one tagabantay. And she feeds everyone, whether hers or not hers. Amazing.
Parang the role of the male is just for protection and
procreation.
To protect the pride
Yes.
from other males.
Yes.
So usually it's one male tapos multiple females. The females do the hunting.
Yes.
They're coordinated when it comes to hunting. So they can take down large prey like buffaloes.
Yeah.
But for comparing it to the cheetah, medyo one-on-one si cheetah kasi
Yeah,
it's all about
oo.
speed.
And then the difference is, so what I learned is the lion can kill to teach the young but not necessarily hungry.
Yeah.
Si cheetah only kills to eat.
Yeah.
Survival lang talaga.
Kasi they're not sure when the next meal is. So it's all about conservation of energy.
Tama.
It takes so much effort for just one kill because they go so fast.
Yeah.
So each kill has to be successful.
Yeah.
So ganun yung with cheetahs. With lions, they can try kasi marami naman sila.
Yeah, correct.
One kill can feed the entire village.
Yeah. It's I had a breeder friend who asked me help with his servals. Yeah, so I have two, right? They're fixed na rin. But one I bottle fed. So she Tinkerbell, Nielsen knows her, and because of the breeding, not enough sunshine, lots of problems with the bones, and she broke her leg, and so she's a tripod. But yun talaga, up to now, she hasn't forgotten me. She meow, meow. She calls me. She asks for food. She selosa, and she's so guapa. So it's really like it's one of those things. I have a special permit for her, but still intelligent.
Yeah.
So intelligent, incredible. That's why I had to get rid of the snakes also.
Yeah,
Because they would.
huntingin siya eh.
Do you know she found a way to go up to the second floor of my house, break the terrarium, and kill the snake because that's their main source of food pala.
Yeah. So cats in general kasi they hunt smaller things than them. So they hunt rodents, they hunt
Ipis!
insects, ipis. Favorite nilang ipis. Snakes, tapos small birds. So anything larger than a cat to them is the opposite naman. It's a predator. So,
Kaya sila
though-
takot sa mga rats na malaki.
Yes. They can gauge naman kasi if kaya nila yung rat or not. So if it's a larger rat, most likely hindi nila gagalawin. Also yun nga, it's economy of effort. Is this worth hunting to hunt? Diba? Kung malaki siya at di ko siya kaya, it's not worth hunting. So parang it's not worth the energy. So I feel hindi nawala yung pagiging fair, hindi naman, siguro yung behaviors na pagiging feral or pagiging stray ng mga pusa. Lahat sila nandyan. Innate pa rin sa kanila yung to hunt. Kasi kung wala silang ma-hunt sa bahay, walang ipis, usually yung paa mo naman yung hahabulin nila.
Yeah.
So they always hunt.
I also noticed something about them, especially with the rescues. You don't think there's anything wrong with them. Then once you catch them,
Yeah. Because you take them out of what is the norm already for them. And that's stressful.
can you explain that? Because a lot of people think they're doing a favor.
Yeah. So, natural, if
If it's already an adult, ha?
It's already an adult stray. Yung life experience niya for let's say 1 to 2 years has molded what is normal for that cat already. So if you take them out of what is normal, put them in a household setting, they would be constantly stressed. Kasi yun nga, 1 to 2 years of doing this to survive, then pupunta ka sa place na automatic may food na lumalabas. For them, that's stressful. And if you increase stress, you lessen or you decrease naman your immune system. So that's why prone sila magkasakit pag
Yeah. Because
lagi silang stressed.
that's what I always like. We try to when people ask about community animals, we definitely say we'll catch them, we'll fix them, and we return them in 3 days, right? If they're very feral, we use convenience sometimes because it's too hard to medicate after. And then we always say keep them feral for their safety, but at the same time, like don't overfeed. Once a day is enough because then their purpose of keeping, one of the arguments is keep the rodents out, right? You overfeed them, they're no longer going to
Hunt their rodents. Yeah.
So what happened to your reason for keeping a community animals, right? I mean, you have to give them a purpose because some people don't believe it, etc., etc. So, and they want to hunt.
Yes. It's wired to them.
'Di ba? Survival sila eh. So these are little important things na we can't think for them because we're human.
Yeah. Totoo. So, parang lumalabas siya na imposing. You're imposing what you want for the cat without understanding ano ba yung want talaga ng cat.
Want and need.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I always explain to clients, to other vets na their natural behavior should always still be there. Na kahit domesticated yung cat, kahit you had the cat at the early stages of life, you still have to what's the term? Fulfill yung kanilang need for hunting. Kasi kahit buong buhay na niya nasa loob siya, they can't help it. They will try to hunt something, and usually that's our paa, our kamay, toys. So yan, pag may ipis, pero pag wala namang ipis sa house, medyo na-frustrate sila. So the hunting behavior should still be there kasi it's natural. It's wired to them already.
Yeah. That's our I don't know what it is. It is our own behavior to try to care or to think that this is
What's best for them.
what's best for them when we fail to understand or even try to think of what is best for them. Yeah.
So that's why I go around talaga to preach about cat behavior. Kasi ang laking value nun for a small change in the household, especially if you're a cat owner. Small change lang to engage with your cat, ramp up the activities for normal behavior like hunting. The way you feed a cat is also important. So smaller meals dapat kasi with hunting, they only hunt one mouse. And that's equivalent to how many pellets of food lang naman. So less yung food na kailangan nila but more frequent because more frequent nga sila nag-hunt.
No, or even I was reading the red light is not also good for them
Yes.
kasi
Walang reward.
wala
Yeah.
silang pinatay, wala silang nakuha.
So my advice, if you still want to play with the laser pointer, dapat may treat siya after. So once they catch the pointer, you give them a treat para complete yung hunting cycle. Kasi nahuli nila eh.
Yeah.
I think it was joked about in one cartoon movie, si Secret Life of Pets. There's the second installment nun, there was a laser pointer na hinahabol ng lahat ng pusa. Tapos, finally, a dog caught it. So, they all worship the dog. Kasi hindi nila mahuli-huli na kahit maganon nila ng paw nila, lumalabas pa rin ulit yung red light.
Yeah.
But they kind of devised the plan na pag nahuli nung dog, nandun siya sa kamay nung dog, ipo-point. So they worship the dog kasi nahuli niya yung
That's
red.
such a Secret Life of Pets. I have to look
part
for.
two, yung part two.
I have to look for that.
It's
What
a funny
I read was The Secret Life of Cats. That's
In a documentary, I think.
Yeah, but there's a book. There's an actual book because it touches on a lot of stuff that's very interesting. And again, I think people need to keep themselves at a certain level and always be curious to fulfill what it is the animals need.
Yeah. So when I do the cat behavior lecture thing, I always share that there are resources online that a cat owner or for this instance caregiver. So in cat practice kasi we don't call them owners, we call them caregivers because basically you're just there to supply care for that cat. So I always share resources. There's so many resources online. You can go to the website of ISFM, si International Society of Feline Medicine. Meron silang for pet owners doon how to hold them properly, how to train them sa carriers, what's the proper feeding cycle, how to transport them.
We have to put this link on the
I can share
on the comments.
I can share the link.
Yeah.
So I'll share the link na lang. So there's so many resources online. It's really just a matter of sitting down and taking the time lang talaga. Most of them naman are in YouTube video format na, so madali na siyang i-absorb.
I was watching this watching it or in one of my courses, I can't remember where, the cats that were bred to look a certain way also have their own genetic problems.
Yeah. So one of the most common one is the Scottish Fold. So the Scottish Fold, as we know, kaya siya tinawag na fold kasi folded yung ears niya. So that was bred for looks, but that's actually a genetic problem. So Scottish Folds tend to have joint problems in the future. And I've seen so many cases of this na nagkaka-osteoarthritis sila because nagkaka-problem in joints, nagkaka-bone spur yung joints nila. Kasi genetically, they were bred to look like this.
And then si Persian, meron din, madami.
Madami si Persian kasi yung snout niya, they're like the brachycephalics of cats. So medyo hirap sila huminga, heart problems.
No, in fact, when you look at the history of breeds with the dogs, you'll see how they change so much
Over time.
I haven't looked for the cat version. I'm sure there is.
There is.
Yeah, because
sure.
like corgis look nothing like the corgis before. The only one that's kind of constant are some of the sight hounds, so Salukis, greyhounds. They kind of look the same. Dachshunds the same, but corgis, Rottweilers, Dobermans, different. Pati actually, yung I got this book, second encyclopedia. It's beautiful. It's for German Shepherds. It's written by a couple that they are really like the gatekeepers to the breed. I'll show it to you one day. It's beautiful. and they have photos of before and now where dogs are, their backs are so low and stuff like that. And it's something I've discussed with breeder friends that they have to be careful with these dog shows and probably cat shows because the ones who win influence the look.
Yeah.
And so the question now is, you have those categories because the categories are herding, pastoral, toy, whatever, right? Working. So those are specific purposes.
Yeah.
So now, this is the look. Does it fit the purpose?
Yeah.
So that's why they have the FCI has these breed standards. But
They should probably include in breed standards physiological standards. Like if this is a working dog, how much muscle mass does this dog actually have?
I think they have basic, but not that muscle mass. They also don't.
So if it's just physical looks, I feel that's going to be bad in the future. Kasi you're just aiming now for the look, but not the overall health. No?
Yeah. One of the judges I know, because I studied a bit, was like the movement, and the movement will give you an idea of the bone structure and all of that. But I feel like a lot of the brachycephalics are a little too much. So that's why the Netherlands and Belgium now, I think they no longer allow. And then now even the, what do you call that? The cutting of the tails, what's that called? Tail docking, ear cropping,
A lot of vets find those procedures unnecessary.
Yeah.
So before, when I was still practicing in small animal, the only time na magte-tail dock ako is if you are actually joining these mga shows. But if you're not, parang there's no.
In fact, we had a case where a friend had a different vet, and then so she had puppies, corgi puppies, and then I don't know how old the weeks the dog was, and she said went back to her vet and said, okay, can you dock the tails now? And the vet was like, it's too late now, and then we can do it with anesthesia, but the vet was hesitant. Then she sought my advice, and I said, that's already bone. If you're gonna dock, you need to dock 2
to 3
days. But I wanna sell and I was like, no, just sell us and sell. Say it's the European, because the Europeans no longer allow, and they show in the show, right? So, there's all these little things that, again, those were needed because of their hunting. Tails and ears are not part of the thing. So they're no longer doing that. So in some cases, I really appreciate the Europeans for those kinds of things. They're a lot more sensitive. But I feel like the bichon. No, what you call that? The like monkey-looking dog. That's a Belgian dog. I forget the name. Not bichon. Not bichon frise. There's it's so cute, and they're like, so. Belgium, I don't think is breeding them anymore, but they have them in other countries. So super cute dog. Look at that. so cute. I love that dog. Or even like the Pekingese. When you see the skeletal structure of the Pekingese, grabe talaga. Anyway, and what I'm doing now is just have to sort it out. But we're going to work for the finding the aspen with UP, with the UP Archie Archaeology Society, the DNA. So we're gonna do that. I'll help them with that because I don't think we really have
Our own.
Our own. I have a strange feeling because maybe we do, but they cross through bridges and then
Yeah.
they're so
There was one breed. It was called Manila Spaniel.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you remember when I mentioned kanina na I did one podcast
Yeah.
for a friend?
Yeah.
So, it was one of his parang articles that kind of gave interest dun sa... Kasi he found this photo and yung photo, it was a photo of a dog tapos may description lang sa baba, Manila Spaniel. So parang na-trigger siya na parang I did not know that this
Yeah.
breed existed. So he did some research. And yeah, I think he finally found the author of the book kung saan niya. And
Yeah. We're gonna give you a book about that written by my friend Ian Alfonso. Yeah, we're looking into that because like we're also looking into in the annals it was put something like we had a hairless dog. We had a hairless dog and right now in the sanctuary, well, we adopted one out already, but there's 3 more. And these are, I don't know, rescues or one is talagang like a Mexican because it's gray, but these ones are spotted, white, basically white with spots and stuff. So, and when we were talking and discussing for the research for this, what was interesting was they also needed to apply the animal welfare law. And so we will test through hairs follicle as the safest and the more, so all these things are coming into play because, there's this big controversy now with this, not a controversy, but they're saying this asong gubat, right?
jungle dog.
Jungle dog or aswang dog. And that's what they call it. And I said, and they presented it in the show, in the PCCI. And I was like, we need the scientific backing for that. Because I know, for example, in Portugal, when they were trying to do one of their padango, Portuguese padango, one of their dogs, it went through a long series of genetic, this and that and this and that, and then finally it was accepted as, but it's not just a type, a look, it was scientific as well. So it was really, I really appreciated it that way.
So parang tracing talaga what's the Philippines' own breed of dog. Yeah.
Well, I'm also interested in that also because like a lot of our pharmaceuticals, I feel are based on first world.
What breeds are available?
What breeds are available, So especially with the cat, I noticed we don't have as much cat stuff here.
Yes. So that's true. Not many cat products or solutions out there. I think it's because in terms of research for cats, they're a bit behind because I don't know, wala siguro masyadong interested before.
But I saw a study that the US has more cat pets than dog pets.
I think so. Humabol siya because of the pandemic. Even locally. So now, ang isang household can now house 2 dogs. But one household, if you compare the size, can house 10 cats. So parang napansin namin yun during the pandemic. Na pag nagdadala yung mga cat owners, it's 1:10, 1:15. As compared to dogs, it's just 1:2, 1:2. Marami na yung 8. So parang ganun. So humahabol si cat population. And with the research on cats as well, medyo mas dumadami na kasi because of the pandemic nga, we've been stuck with them for so long na we actually are looking at them now. Kasi parang there's this mindset na before, pag kumuha kang pusa, iwan mo lang, okay na sila eh.
Yeah.
But with the pandemic, now you're stuck with the cat. You have no choice but to look at your cat and observe kung ano ba yung ginagawa talaga ng pusa when you're supposed to be out. So, mas marami ng research din ngayon na pumapasok sa pusa.
Yeah, because that's always like what people, think about or ask or worry about. And that's why I say, can you like feed in different areas and don't make them congregate? Because that becomes also a problem for the community. When they see ang dami pala, doon tatawag sila ng pound or ilalason or,
So one thing I can suggest is, since you do already call them community animals, there should always be a human community backing it up as well. So hindi pwedeng you're just one person tapos community cats yung tawag natin. So dapat it's a whole community. Kasi like you said nga, it's better if they're spread out. Kasi no one person can feed like 30 cats and magko-congregate nga lahat ng 30 na yun sa bahay ninyo.
yeah.
So it's best you either collaborate with your local government or with your neighbors na toka-toka na if you really want to help sa community cats natin, gawa kayo ng parang rotation nila or parang area assignment kung sino. Tapos identify kung sino lang. You can give them nicknames.
Yeah.
Ganun lang naman.
You know what I wanted to also ask? There are these rabies vaccines. So there's Defensor that's good for 2 years. Rabicin claims 3 years. But we vaccinate every year because we're rabies
We're not yet rabies free as
free.
a country. Yeah.
But if we would, then that's again a savings, if ever.
Yes. In other countries like Japan, they're rabies free na. So, si Rabicin and si Defensor 3, they're given once every 3 years only. So, hopefully we can reach to that. There are some islands na in the Philippines
Yes.
that are rabies free.
That's Docmel.
Bais?
Bais. Yes. Because that's where we're hoping to do our project, right?
Before si Doc Joshua in Marinduque, but nagka-rabies cases siya ulit eh. Tapos Romblon, I think, is also.
Because I think you can, that's what I was telling Doc Alice and the islands. The LGUs have to be very strict to, the dogs going on bangkas.
Yeah.
That's really hard, right? But if they can be, then, diba?
It's achievable. Kaya naman siya. So, it's more on, like you said, political will, I feel, is one of the strongest driver for rabies-free country.
I think there's just too many needs.
Yeah, at the moment. Hindi siya napaprioritize.
Yeah. But that's what I keep arguing with certain government officials, that if you it's a low-lying fruit that doesn't take forever
Much.
to do.
And it doesn't take much.
No.
Yeah.
Right? So, why not pick it? Diba? Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, so do you have anything to say to our audience?
What to say to the audience? Play with your cat. If you're a cat owner, play with your cat. Parang we associate play kasi for dogs only, but cats needed also. So if you have time, 5 to 10 minutes a day, get a teaser toy, play with your cat. That's cumulatively that's going to I guess prevent the 3 a.m. zoomies in your house. So if you don't want noise ng this oras ng gabi, play with your cat like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay na.
No, what I do is one of my cats does catch. So I just crumple a piece of paper, throw, she goes and gets it, and then she comes back with
if I
it.
get stuff like red ribbon or yung ribbon mismo na kulay pula or ano ba yung green?
Can they see color?
Ano pa?
Can they see color?
They can see color.
Because dogs can't, right?
Sabi nila, they see in black and white. But cats can see color, medyo toned down ang red, I think, for them. So they see more in greens and blues.
So you just...
So yeah, ginaganon. Ang favorite nung cat ko, he doesn't like the box. He likes dangling things. So, ano lang, yung ribbon sa red ribbon na cake, yung cassava na kulay Don Benitos na cassava. Ayan. So, yung green. So, minsan iba-iba kulay. Tapos ginaganon ko lang sa kanya. 5 to 10 minutes a day, nag-lessen yung pagtatatakbo niya paggabi. So, okay na yun.
Yeah,
Yung sa laser pointer kanina, if you're going to play with the laser pointer, have a treat ready. Para nakukomplete yung hunting cycle.
Yeah. So we're gonna invite you we're hoping to do a community cat coalition group. We'll invite you to talk.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks so much, Doc.
Go for those kinds of things.
Ingat po, Doc, and good luck.
Thank you din po for having me.
Yun. Okay, bye.
Bye po.
Hello, mga kabiyaya. We are here to discuss anything under veterinary services, rescues, adoptions, TNVR, animal welfare, responsible pet ownerships. Anything and everything as well in between. Kung nais po ninyong magiging isang biyaya sa aming mga alagang aso't pusa, please comment below or message our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. Maraming salamat.